Have you ever found yourself reaching for a snack after a long, stressful day? Or using food as a way to celebrate a special moment? If so, you're definitely not alone. Emotional eating is something almost everyone experiences at some point in their lives, whether it's grabbing a treat to lift your mood or sharing a meal to mark a joyful occasion. Many of us turn to food for comfort, distraction, or celebration. It's a deeply human habit that's woven into our daily routines and social lives. Food can be a source of pleasure, a way to connect with others, or simply a momentary escape from stress. Our relationship with food is often tied to cherished memories, family traditions, and powerful emotions. From childhood birthday cakes to comforting meals during tough times, food becomes a symbol of love, care, and togetherness. It's natural for our feelings to influence what, when, and how we eat. But sometimes, when food becomes our main or only way to cope with difficult emotions, like sadness, loneliness, or anxiety, it can start to create challenges in our lives. Emotional eating can leave us feeling stuck in a cycle of guilt and frustration. It's important to remember that emotional eating is a common coping mechanism, not a personal failure or weakness. It's a way our minds and bodies try to soothe discomfort, even if it doesn't always serve us in the long run. The first step toward change is simply recognizing this pattern in yourself. By noticing when and why you turn to food for comfort, you open the door to understanding your deeper needs and emotions. Instead of judging yourself or feeling guilty, try to approach your habits with curiosity and kindness. Ask yourself what you're really feeling and what you might truly need in that moment. Emotional eating is often a signal, your body and mind's way of asking for attention, care, or a break. It's an invitation to pause and listen to yourself more closely. When you notice these signals, you have a chance to discover what you truly need. Maybe it's rest, a conversation with a friend, creative expression, or simply a moment of self-care that doesn't involve food. This journey isn't about strict diets or denying yourself pleasure. It's about building awareness, finding balance, and making choices that support your well-being, both physically and emotionally. Real change starts with understanding yourself and your habits. You have the power to create new supportive routines that nurture both your body and your mind. Together, let's explore how to build a healthier, more compassionate relationship with food and emotions, one step at a time. Emotional eating is when we turn to food as a way to manage our feelings, using it to soothe, distract, or comfort ourselves in moments of emotional discomfort. Instead of eating because our bodies need nourishment, we eat to change how we feel inside. This can happen to anyone, and it's more common than you might think. Emotional eating isn't about satisfying physical hunger. Often you might not even be hungry at all, but you find yourself reaching for food anyway. It's often a response to difficult emotions like stress, anger, sadness, loneliness, or even boredom. When life feels overwhelming or empty, food can seem like a quick fix. You might find yourself eating mindlessly while worrying about work, relationships, or other challenges, barely noticing the taste or amount of food you're consuming. Or maybe you reach for comfort foods like pizza, ice cream, or chips after a tough day, hoping for a little relief from the stress or sadness you're feeling. Foods high in sugar, fat, or salt can trigger pleasure chemicals in the brain, giving us a temporary sense of comfort or happiness. That's why we often crave these foods when we're feeling down. But that comfort is fleeting. Once the food is gone, the original emotion is still there, and it's often joined by feelings of guilt, regret, or frustration with ourselves. Emotional eating isn't always about negative feelings, though. We also use food to celebrate, connect with others, and mark special occasions. Sharing a meal can bring joy and strengthen relationships. The problem arises when food becomes your main or only way to cope with any strong emotion, whether it's happiness, sadness, or stress. The goal isn't to eliminate joyful food moments from your life, but to develop a variety of healthy ways to handle your emotions. So food isn't your only option. Food should be just one tool among many for coping with life's ups and downs. Journaling, talking to a friend, or taking a walk can all help too. Building a wider range of coping skills is key to breaking the cycle of emotional eating and finding healthier ways to care for yourself. How do you know if you're eating emotionally? Look for these signs. Emotional hunger comes on suddenly and feels urgent, often for specific foods. Physical hunger builds gradually and is felt in your stomach. Emotional hunger is felt in your mind. Cravings for taste or comfort, not fuel. After emotional eating, you may feel guilt or regret, not satisfaction. You might keep eating past fullness, eating mindlessly. Physical hunger ends with contentment. Emotional eating often leaves you wanting more. Notice if you eat in response to stress, boredom, or loneliness. Emotional eating is tied to feelings, not physical need. Try keeping a simple journal. Note what you eat and how you feel before eating. Patterns will emerge, revealing your triggers. Recognizing these signs is the first step to change. Awareness helps you break the cycle. The most powerful tool to stop emotional eating is pausing before you act. When a craving hits, take a deep breath and ask, what am I really feeling? Use the HALT method. Am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? If you're not physically hungry, check for other needs. Identifying your true feeling helps you address the real issue, not just cover it with food. For example, food won't fix anger or loneliness. It only distracts you for a moment. The pause gives you space to make a conscious choice. Start small. Pause for 10 seconds, then build up. Each pause strengthens your awareness and self-control. This habit is an act of self-kindness. Over time, you'll respond to emotions with care, not just food. Checking in with yourself transforms your relationship with eating. Once you know what you're feeling, choose a healthy way to cope. Create an emotional toolkit, activities to match your needs. For stress, try deep breathing, stretching, or calming music. If you're lonely, call a friend, write in a journal, or cuddle a pet. For boredom, pick up a book, start a hobby, or tidy up. When angry, release energy with a walk, vigorous cleaning, or writing it out. The goal is to meet your real need, not just distract yourself with food. Keep your toolkit handy for tough moments. Healthy coping builds resilience and breaks the emotional eating cycle. A healthy relationship with food means eating mindfully and without guilt. Mindful eating is about being present with your food, no distractions, no judgment. Sit down, notice your meal's colors and smells, and take a moment of gratitude. Eat slowly, savor each bite, and pay attention to your body's signals. Stop when you feel satisfied, not stuffed. Mindful eating helps you enjoy food more and recognize when you've had enough. There are no good or bad foods, just choices. If you want a treat, enjoy it fully and move on. This approach reduces guilt and shame. Mindful eating isn't a diet, it's a skill for joy and balance. You're in control of your choices. Eating with awareness brings peace to your relationship with food. Savor every meal, guilt-free. Changing emotional eating habits is a journey. Take it one step at a time. Remember, real transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's about progress, not perfection. Each day is a new opportunity to make choices that support your well-being, even if they're small. Start by identifying your triggers. When and where are you most likely to eat emotionally? Is it late at night, after a stressful day, or when you're feeling lonely? Understanding your patterns is the first step toward change. Once you know your triggers, try replacing old routines with new, positive rituals. Instead of reaching for a snack, consider stretching after work, taking a short walk, or practicing deep breathing. These small shifts can help break the cycle of emotional eating. Focus on making small, manageable changes for lasting results. Set realistic goals and remind yourself that every step forward counts, no matter how minor it may seem. Celebrate every small victory along the way. Whether it's choosing a healthy snack or pausing to reflect before eating, these moments add up to big change over time. Give yourself credit for your efforts. Set up your environment for success. Stock your kitchen with nourishing snacks and try to avoid keeping tempting foods at home. When healthy options are easy to reach, making better choices becomes simpler. Create a comfort kit filled with non-food items, like books, journals, soothing music, or a list of friends to call. When emotions run high, reach for your kit instead of the fridge. Be patient and kind to yourself. Setbacks are normal and part of the process. Treat yourself with the same compassion you'd offer a friend. Don't let one slip-up derail your progress. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is getting back on track and learning from each experience. Reflect on what happened and gently return to your new habits. Each experience is a chance to grow stronger and more resilient. Every moment is a chance to start fresh. No matter what happened yesterday, you can always choose differently today. You have the power to nourish your body and mind in healthy ways. With each mindful choice, you're building a foundation for lasting change. Lasting change is possible, one choice at a time. Trust yourself, stay committed, and remember that every positive step brings you closer to the life you want.